stop. Do not do this to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Normally I don't take a position or take a stand or make a strong recommendation to do or not do something whenever I'm describing an idiom, which is an expression that has an impact either on you or on people around you. It's been around a really long time, and it doesn't mean, it's a phrase that doesn't mean what the individual words mean. So I find them really fascinating. We business owners have a lot of things to contend with, and one of the things, one of the most important things we have to contend with is people's understanding and communication and psychology, right? There's a lot of psychology and mindset involved in business, and that's why I like to talk about these idioms. Today we're going to talk about one that I really think you should pay attention to. It is a dime a dozen. And why do I say don't do this if you want to grow and build your business and supersize your business? Because a dime a dozen means something that comes easily, cheaply, is probably easily duplicatable, and everybody else has access to it. It's easy to get, easy to come by. They're not rare or unique or special at all. And the key to being successful in the business world today with so much competition and so many people doing similar things is you have got to stand out. You've got to be unique. You've got to be special. You've got to be you. And what makes you the reason people should do business with you? What special skills or special strategies, or special techniques, or special experiences do you have that you can share to help with other people to help them solve their problems, to give them a great experience with working with your business or organization, to provide them some solutions to problems or to do things for them that leaves them feeling so delighted and excited and thankful and grateful that they have found you as a solution to their problem. Now, dime a dozen, of course, in 1786, the Constitutional Congress officially named the 10-cent piece the dime. They proceeded to mint millions of them. The dime became super duper popular. Everybody had them. They were easy to come by. They were everywhere. And so that dime a dozen, since it's alliteration, the D's, people like those expressions and they tend to catch on. And the expression a dime a dozen became used to describe anything that was easy to come by, cheap and readily available. I think of commodities when I think of a dime a dozen. I think of, and of course for each of us, what is easy to come by, cheap? Cheap is relative, right? What I might think is cheap, you might think is really expensive. For example, I think junk food, processed food, anything you can get in the grocery store for the most part, when it comes to cheap and expensive and inexpensive, for the value that you're getting, I think that it's relatively easy and cheap to come by, right? I think that's why there's so much competition for foods, for foods, for example. I was in the food industry for a long time, and so I have a lot of opinions that revolve around the food industry, and commoditization and things like that. But each of us will decide relatively what is expensive, what is easy to come by. For some people, relationships are, or what things are disposable, right? Some people think relationships are, relationships with the opposite sex or relationships in business are easy to come by and cheap, and that people are just a number and it's a numbers game. Therefore, they treat their customers that way. Another kiss of death, by the way. If you treat your customers like they are just a number, you're in for trouble, because somebody is going to come in, some competitor is going to come in, do something similar to what you do, and they're going to treat them well, like they should be treated in the first place, and they are going to just annihilate you. They're going to put you out of business. People do business with people they like, trust, that make them feel a certain way. People do everything based on emotion. We do everything, as much as we like to think that we're so smart and scientific and in our brains, we actually make every choice, every decision. Every single one of us on the planet make our decisions based on emotion first, how we think something's going to make us feel, and on rational justification of that decision or that choice after the fact that we've emotionally decided to do something. I like to think that I'm really rational and I make all these calculated decisions and choices, but the truth is, I'm the same way. I make a decision instantaneously based on how I think it's going to make me feel, and then I immediately go into rationalizing and justifying that decision or that choice. So back to a dime a dozen, kiss of death. If you are seen as just another anything in your industry, it is the kiss of death, because that invites people to compare you to everybody else that provides a similar service. And how many of us, if we're being and copying and modeling just like everybody else, are we standing out? Are we proving and showing what is unique and special and amazing about doing business specifically with us and our business? Or are we really just another Me Too operation? If you're another Me Too operation, I encourage you to look deeper at yourself and at your organization, because I guarantee that there are many things that make you unique and special and the reason that people should do business specifically with you. So don't be a dime a dozen. Make sure that you are standing out and being yourself and being unique. Don't be processed food. Don't be a commodity. And there are some business owners that can be a commodity and treat people like a numbers game. If I think of utilities or, somebody that's got a monopoly in an area, think of trash service in your community. If I think about the trash company in my community, right now there's only one provider. So they don't care whether I get their trash service or not, because everybody else in the area has to do it. So they have a set number of business. So they can treat people like a numbers game and have all these rules and regulations and systems that aren't that fun to work with. I think cell phone companies and the old telephone companies used to be that way too. But anything that's a commodity like that, they can get away with it. But the rest of us, in this day and age, especially in this day and age of connectivity and the internet and social media, you have got to stand out. You've got to be different. You cannot be a dime a dozen. So be your unique, crazy, wild, amazing self, and see how much more successful and easier and actually more fun it is to grow and build your business. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, also known as Pajama Grandma. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where did it come from? How long has it been around? Because guess what? It might not be impacting you. It might be the first time you've ever heard a particular expression, but I guarantee it's impacting the people that you come in contact with every single day. Have a great day. Be with you tomorrow.